A new sub-label for Radiance Films is Grindhouse Films, and their first release, 1977's Death Game, is one of those sleazy, slimy, kind of dirty and grizzled 70s home invasion thrillers with a little bit of a twist. This was remade as Knock Knock a few years ago by Eli Roth, but we're here to talk about Death Game, which was remarkably great. And considering there is only really three main actors here, we have Sandra Locke, we have Colleen Camp, we have Seymour Cassel as George Manning, a man who is just having his life. His family's went away because one of their sons are sick. He's getting a bit of treatment. He's stuck in the house alone. When one rainy night, two young girls turn up at the door. They think it's the address they're supposed to be at, but it turns out to be not. So, being the gentleman that he is, invites these two young ladies in. You have Agatha, played by Sandra Locke, and Donna, played by Colleen Camp, who shelter from the rain, make a phone call about going to tie up with some friends, and then settle in for a little wait for someone to pick them up.
Can we use your telephone? Maybe get the address?
Of course. Come in.
Thanks.
And as they kind of interact with George, they kind of learn a little bit about him. They look around his house. They're impressed with the standings, everything that he has. He gets distracted for a moment and then suddenly finds these girls in his bathroom using the facilities, soaking in a bath. When, what the hell's going on? It's weird. And when they seduce him, as much as he tries to resist, he finds his world turned upside down as these two girls have psychopathic tendencies and are now going to torture this man physically and mentally for the next little while.
Perverted and unnatural sexual acts to minors. How does the defendant plead?
They become almost repressed children after their sexual escapades and slowly start to wear this man down, creating this frustrating and upsetting situation for George. He's a man who's strayed. He's strayed after someone has come into his home and seduced him, and this is his torturous payment for his actions. Now, it is one of those films that I struggle with. Now, I struggle with this simply because it's a man in his house living his life when people come in and completely turn it upside down.
She's 15 and I'm 17. Do you know what that means?
It's true, George. I'm only 15.
Statutory rape, George. Shove that in your ear.
Forcing him into a situation that he may never have went into if it wasn't for their actions and their sheer glee in the destruction of this man's life is just abhorrent. These are two women in two fantastic performances that are so devious, twisted, and take great pleasure in causing this man's life to just be torn asunder. It is a powerful film which leaves you shocked at what's going on. Like I said, we've got three people here primarily for the entire film, and the performances are all great, and it's so many mind games and situations and false hopes and just twists and turns all the way through as you see these women for what they really are.
They always take the bait, don't they?
It has this really nice 70s aesthetic. You know, I love to see the production values in these kind of movies. You know, it feels as if they've had minimum locations. That's the one house, but they really take advantage of it, creating a wonderful family environment that is slowly destroyed throughout the actions of these women throughout it. The performances, particularly from Sandra Locke and Colleen Camp, who really get to play up their villainous side as they twist and turn. The looks that they have with each other, the knowing looks, the giggles, the glances, and the sheer innocence almost of George as he is unaware of the trap that he has stepped into.
Well, I'll drive you wherever you want to go. Did I say something funny?
Death Game is one of those films that you never feel is going to come to a happy end. It always feels as if there's something destructive and terrible and twisted going on. These kind of mind games and shenanigans are designed to leave a stamp on somebody's life. These girls can't keep doing what they're doing, and you have a feeling that they've done this many times before. It's just a unsettling and twisted thriller. Now, this was a great release, great presentation, and the extras on the disc were outstanding. Just so much going on. In fact, let's dive in and have a look at some of the extras on these discs. Here we are in the first disc for Death Game. Let's go to the special features. You will see we have an audio commentary with Colleen Camp and Eli Roth, and a second commentary with producer Larry Spiegel and cinematographer and editor David Worth. Also on this disc is the theatrical trailer and the bonus feature, Little Miss Innocence, which is a film that's very similar to Death Game, but goes in a kind of different route. Very worthwhile checking out as well. Disc 2 of Death Game houses all of the extras. We have a load of interviews here. We have Ruthless, the Peter Trainer story, which is a lengthy 1 hour 49 minutes 39 seconds. It's an interview held by Eli Roth as they discuss all things Death Game and more. Colleen Camp in the Moment is a 1 hour 35 seconds interview again with Eli Roth, focusing on pretty much most of her career. Sondra Locke, Death Game telephone interview is 14 minutes 42 seconds, where she doesn't seem to really appreciate this film. And then you have the full interview here, which is 44 minutes in length. Game Changers, Larry Spiegel and David Worth, who talk about the creation of this film and their production company, and it's 44 minutes 49 seconds, amongst other things as well. We've got A Tale of Two Scripts by Michael Ronald Ross, who talks about the evolution of the screenplays and a lot of the shenanigans that went on behind the scenes of this one as well. We also have a stills gallery. We have Grindhouse releasing previews, which is trailers of all the films they released, and Blu-ray production credits as well. Also included in this package is a 24-page booklet with Death Game Replayed by David Silskin, which talks a lot about facets of the film as well. And that's the extras for Death Game. There we have it. Death Game was an outstanding release. It really was. It was an interesting film, an unsettling and uncomfortable watch at times. It had incredible extras with this disc, and is something that you really need to pick up. And I'm going to be keeping an eye out for whatever is going to come next from Grindhouse Films, because this was really interesting. I'd love to know your thoughts on Death Game if you've seen it, and I'll throw in my 2 cents of saying that this was far better than Knock Knock, a film that kind of repulsed me in all the wrong ways. This finely balanced film straddles that line of could go either way, but manages to hold its own. And so, it's definitely my preferred version of this tale. But you let me know your point of view on this film and its remake in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.